distinguished members of the Academy. My name is Golfhouse, and we're back on the mostly harmless SMP server. When last we spoke, we built this thing. Since we last spoke, I've been doing a little bit of work underground. If we go ahead and arm ourselves back up, get our stuff in hand, just in case something like this comes along. Thank you. If we go back down underground, you'll see our first section is already done. We finished that in the last episode. I've also gone ahead and completed the second layer. This layer is pretty much a carbon copy of the first, except it's kind of rotated 90 degrees and we're using shiny white stuff instead of the shiny pink stuff. I've also gone ahead and dug down to the third layer, and it's this layer that we're going to be working on today. So this one, the grass will come in this direction, and you can see I've already got a little bit of shiny gray up here. While I dig away at the stone that is going to eventually be dirt down here, I thought I would take a little bit of time and talk about 2014. A little bit about 2014 and maybe a little bit more about what 2015 is looking like for me. I don't normally chat with you guys while I do this kind of grindy stuff. I usually just kind of cut the camera off, get it done, and then show you what it looks like when it's done. But I've been thinking a lot about this past year. It wasn't that long ago that I was only a viewer of YouTube videos, and I had thought about making them for some time, but it just was never the right time to really get started. But back in August, September, something like that, I decided to take the plunge, and I have got to tell you guys, I am really enjoying this. I look forward to making these videos. In fact, I get up about 2 hours earlier, maybe not 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. Probably should be 2 hours earlier than I need to during the week, because that's about the only time during the week that the house is quiet enough that I can record without you guys having to put up with barking chihuahuas and screaming kids and that sort of thing. And I do it because I really like it, and it puts me in a good mood. It's really odd that waking up earlier than I need to would actually make me happy, but I feel productive. I feel like I've accomplished something before I've even walked out of the door for the day, and that's a really great feeling, and it's one that I hope to continue in the upcoming year. I'm also looking forward to trying out some new things. I enjoy this SMP Let's Play, look at this neat thing that I built kind of a series, but I'd like to try doing some other things too. I would really like to find some interesting people to do some UHC stuff with. I think I've found some people who do that sort of thing fairly regularly. I just need to get my schedule coordinated so that I can join them when they go do their thing. I'm also pretty interested in doing a not a UHC, a traditional UHC, but a UHC kind of let's play kind of a deal. There's a couple of guys on the or not on the server, but a couple of guys in my subscription feed. A guy named Ichabod and another guy named Sheepco, who have started UHC series. I don't even know if that's a word. Anyway, they're doing UHC kind of survival series and I've really enjoyed watching those. And I've got some ideas. I don't want to do the same kind of thing that they're doing just because Frankly, I think they're better at it than I would be, but I have some really interesting ideas. And I think I'm going to make it my goal in the first part of 2015 to get that series off the ground. In order to do that, I'm going to have to learn to wake up uh, earlier on the regular. Nowadays, I usually do it maybe once or twice a week, and if I'm going to do this series plus that series plus some of the other stuff that I'm interested in doing, I should probably get used to going to bed early. That all being said, sometime in 2015 there is almost certainly going to be a somewhat major life event that's going to affect my video producing abilities. My job is relocating. I will be leaving the friendly confines of North Carolina for the prairies of Texas. Um, and the interesting thing about it is my family is probably not coming with me. They're going to stay here in the Carolinas, and I'm going to go out there on my own and then come back to see them on weekends and that sort of thing. And before anybody says that's impossible, I do work in an industry where that sort of thing is a little bit easier to accomplish than it is for the normal schmo. I don't want to go into too much more detail other than that, but the ability to commute back and forth between Texas and Carolina is pretty doable when you're in my position. Um, so that's going to be an interesting thing. I imagine for the first couple of weeks while I'm out there, video production is going to be a few and far between kind of thing. But once I get settled in, I'm going to have a house to myself out there in Texas, and not really much else to do other than make videos. So at least in that sense, once I get settled in, I'm kind of hoping that I can count on getting more videos out, maybe getting involved in other games or things like that, and really kind of kicking this channel into something more than just a casual hobby, getting it into one of those obsessive hobbies that people end up spending a lot of time and money and effort on. Kind of like cosplayers, but not as weird. While we've been sitting here chatting away about what the future brings, I've managed to get this entire floor here pretty much dirted up. Let me just come around here and get this last little bit done. And then I think I had a few left over in that slot. Oh well. Then I think we have to come out over here and do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on, get it in there. And then we come over here. Now this part's pretty much already done. 1, 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one will end up ultimately becoming some stone brick. We'll have to get rid of that. So yeah, this is all good here. Let's just light it up a little bit, and then we need to get some grass down here. A single block should be sufficient. I don't know if I have my Silk Touch gear here or not. I went ahead and I made a little kind of backup area. I moved my bed and my chests just because I was tired of going all the way up just to go to sleep. But it doesn't look like I have my Silk Touch gear here. Is it nighttime? It is. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the base and get my Silk Touch pickaxe, because that's the only Silk Touch thing that I have right now, and go get us some grass for this next layer down. Okay, so I've gotten my grass. I did screw that up. That was dirt that I dug out and put stone down. It turned out that needed to be dirt all along, but I got that fixed. So those of you who are counting at home can cease to be too mad at me. And I've gone ahead and I've grabbed a couple of grass blocks. We'll just put those there, and those will slowly start to spread. So, do I have any gray stuff on me? I don't. Let's go back upstairs. I've got a little bit left. I don't know if I'm going to have enough down here to fix our ceiling up the way we totally want it to be, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, that's not right. Do 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 and do do do, and I can squeeze a few more out of there. Alright, so I'll stick this rough stuff back up. I'll go ahead and... Did I just pick up those seeds? I didn't want them in the first place. We'll go back downstairs and start carving out the ceiling, and hopefully we'll get that looking pretty good here before too long. Okay, so we've made significant progress down here. The only thing I have left to do, I think, is to come through here and kind of clean this up so that it looks a little bit shinier and grayer. And then I think we also have to do a little bit here. This pattern that I've been using has been giving me fits. I thought it looked good, and it did look good, but it is super hard to replicate as you go down. So I'm trying to get this thing where as you come down, there's you've got these two here, and then it kind of offsets and something along those lines. But yeah, I don't think this will be 2, 4, 6 different sets of staircases here, and I don't think any of them are the same. But I think if we come over here, I've already got this one done. Yeah, that one looks looks good enough to me. So now I think the only thing there is left to do here is to go ahead and put in our fences, and then we can call this floor pretty much done. Let me go ahead and get this done, and we come over here, stick that there, get out our birch fence posts there. Now I just have to do it on that side. And that's done. So now we've got the third layer of our sheep farm done. We will probably go ahead and move all of that stuff down to that layer because we still have to work on the fourth and final layer of the sheep farm. I'm going to be doing that off camera, I think. Hi, Enderman. Where are you? I guess it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go ahead and get that fourth layer done, and then once that's done, there he is. We will go ahead and get this kind of prettied up a little bit. I don't like the torch placement that we've had down here because, let's face it, it's all random. Look, if you're going to come into my farm, no ender pearls. Oh well. Anyway, our torch placement down here is random, and I've got some ideas on what we can do to kind of pretty that up. Maybe get rid of some torches in favor of some in-floor lighting and then some in-ceiling lighting to kind of help that along. But once we get that ironed out, I think we'll be done and we'll be ready to go get some sheep in here. Once that's taken place, then we'll go ahead and we'll kind of develop the rest of this temple. This is not the final product for this farm above ground. But for right now, it looks like I need to go to sleep. While I'm doing that, I hope you've liked this video. If you have, go ahead and click that like button. If you've really liked it, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you really like me, stalk me on social media. I'm darn near everywhere. And until next time, my name is Golf House. This has been Mostly Harmless. It's an honor just to be nominated.